Alright, so basically I'm gonna be playing Mage because I actually took out a quest and I got the Mage 3 win for 50 gold. And uh, I basically had a newer card called Firelands Portals and I decided to add in or switch out certain cards for Firelands Portal. I think I took out Yogg actually. And the reason for that is that I usually play Yogg when I'm losing anyways, and Firelands Portals just straight up give you at least a minion, and you can also deal direct face damage with it. So we'll see. I mean, Yacht got nerfed a bit, so I just don't want to gamble that too much. I also took out my Blood Knight for Cobra. It's often interchangeable in a way, but Cobra does help in removing directly instead of just Blood Knight removing shields. Uh, this hand is very controlling, but it's not great at all, and I happen to have lots of spells, which isn't good. But then again, I am a control quote unquote mage. Oh man, this is by far the worst hand I've ever gotten with this deck. But then again, you're playing against a druid, so if it's a slow version, which it is, then this is okay. I can take damage. However, I am getting too many. And this is another reason why I didn't want to put in two Firelands portals. I would have probably just put in one. But if you put in one, it's really weak. Because you can only prime it for one target, and it basically acts as a better Starfire, and it's not great. He has the coin, but I think I'm just still gonna do Counterspell anyways, because from his line of play at the start, he's really wanting to ramp up, but he cannot. And now he finally tests if the first one was Mirror Entity because he didn't do it last turn. But knowing that it's not Mirror Entity, he's gonna play more and more creatures. See, getting the second Firelands Portal in my hand is just really bad in general because I have too many spells in my hand. So this is like a reactive hand. However, I do have effigy up, so I have to stall until my Firelands Portal. But I think you can tell it's between um, Ice Block and effigy for the first one because he's already tested most of it. I mean, nobody plays Spellbender. I mean, I do, but I don't have it on here, so or at least I don't have it on right now. So to him, it's most likely not Spellbender. And on this turn, since I have both polymorphs, I'll just play one because I mean, in the end, I have Flame Strike, but because it's at 6 health, a 4/6 is really hard to deal with at this point. And he has lots of taunts, so he's basically buying time for Cthulhu, or just buying time to buff out Cthulhu. And this is decent for my effigy. I mean, if he falls into it, which now he knows it's definitely effigy. Um, in the way that I've played so far, so he's definitely not gonna kill this. I mean, if he kills this, then he definitely hasn't played enough secrets or against people with secrets. So it's a good decision of him to uh, rush my face. And if he has Cthulhu, it's really high chance to strike me out of the game because I did already use one polymorph. So there's the Flame Strike. Uh, see, I had to have a minion before I can deal with anything with 6 HP, and he is really smart in choosing creatures with 6 HP. And there's the Bog Creeper, and I can't really deal with this situation, so I have to use my second polymorph there and try to gain uh tempo. I did want to play Cobra, but I'm scared of his innervate into Cthulhu. Uh, so I had to play my Amani to devalue my effigy, unfortunately. I mean, I could have chosen not to play the Amani, but I kind of didn't want to just say that it's effigy. even though it is effigy, that's not too bad actually for me. I mean, if he has to spend spells to kill me, I gain more damage considering what I'm gonna do now is accelerate the game with Alex here. Um, it denies him to cast stuff because he's gonna give me spells, which means that was actually a decent effigy. But yeah, there's the Cthulhu, and I knew that was gonna hit me. Um, so here I have to Violence Portal and hope for a good high damage creature. Yes, that's a high damage creature. And then I'll just trade because I am in most likely lethal range if I don't. I mean, I've already used both my polymorphs, so I have to trade in the Cthulhu since I was able to clear it. Oh, so many taunts. Fen Creeper, Sunwalker, Bog Creeper. Wow. See, I took out my Blood Knight for Cobra, and every single time I take out my Blood Knight, I faced a board that actually has shields to take off. I'm not saying that my Cobra would have been Blood Knight in my hand the entire game, but it could have been. Uh, but then again, of course, I wouldn't know that it was Cthulhu Druid, but still, every single okay, every single time I play against something that I switch out, I face it back. It's like one time I took out my faceless manipulator and I faced someone that has rag and I lost to it because I couldn't faceless the rag to potentially have a 50-50 or a 33% chance of countering the rag. So I mean, it happens to me all the time, and it's usually the immediate Q too. So here I'm just gonna Azure Drake. I mean, I was thinking just to not do Azure Drake, and I mean, I was thinking to trade, but I was like, oh yeah, he's frozen, so why should I damage my creature? Like, damaging my creature means he has a potential of clearing it out, and then I would lose my lethal range, considering what I have on the board. Um, and he is at really low health. So now I'm hoping that my Ethereal Conjurer gives me something strong here. Kona Cold is one of the decisions here because he has 3 creatures. But then I have to get through at some point, so freezing it's not an actual option. And since I have Kirintor, I can play a secret, and it happened to be Ice Block from that Conjurer. So this is just perfect for me because it buys me time to gain lethal on him. And earlier, I mean, it was just smart to not trade into this, and I won. And this is a greedy Druid, considering he's playing Yasharaj. That's just way too greedy, in my opinion. I think every single other card that he chose to play in his deck is validated, but not Sarge. It's just Barnes is probably better. Um, yeah, Barnes is probably better because even with Divine Shields, it's basically a 2/2 or 2 health. Thanks for watching.